Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, the mayor presents his annual State of the City address. We'll tell you what it means for residents and businesses. And Torrance police proudly accept honors for their acts of heroism. Plus, we'll tell you how these high school students beat the odds. Then Two Wheels bring innumerable smiles to the faces of some South Bay kids. These stories and much more are just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Mayor Frank Scotto joined delegates and members of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce at the DoubleTree Hotel recently. Scotto was there to deliver his annual State of the City address, and as expected, the local economy was a major topic. Reporter Alexa Sita explains.
On a national level, we're being told that the recession is technically over. On a state level, we're being told that tough choices to fix our state economy. There's going to be some very tough things coming out in the next few months from our state. You'll hear about them. On the county level, we're being told of cautious optimism for an economic uptick. Now, I'm certain everyone's confused to hear these statements.
So in his annual State of the City address, Mayor Frank Scotto tried to ease the confusion as it pertains to Torrance.
Some businesses have struggled. Some businesses have left. But it also means that new businesses are continuing to choose Torrance as home. Businesses with strong customer base with a variety of offerings are knocking on our doors. In-N-Out Burger, Fresh and Easy Market, Mac Mall, and Lotus Pet Foods are just some of the familiar brands coming to the city. Car dealerships like Hyundai and DCH Toyota will also replace closed dealerships, all of which means hundreds of new jobs. Remember, the engine that drives the city is employment.
But sales tax revenue fills the city's coffers, and with plans to remodel the Del Amo Fashion Center finally underway, Torrance may attract more shoppers and different consumers ready to spend their cash.
And we're very, very, very pleased that this is happening, let me tell you, because I think it's going to transform Torrance in a different way. And I've already seen tentative plans, and I think that everybody in the room, if they saw them, they would be amazed.
The address was not without some harsh realities. Since sales tax revenue dropped sharply over the last few years, Mayor Scotto reinforced the city's belt-tightening. After enduring 2 rounds of budget cuts, $13 million in jobs and services were excised, and the 2011-2013 budget will reveal revenue shortfalls of up to $3.5 million, so expect to see more cuts.
To balance the budget while mitigating negative impacts to the resident and holding to the City Council policy of no layoffs and no furloughs, that entails difficult decisions and adjustments.
Mayor Scotto emphasized changing the perception of Torrance as the key to its future. The newly created Tourism and Business Investment District will promote the city for both such activities.
They are developing a marketing campaign that will capture our voice as a city, that will introduce Torrance to others.
And residents can look forward to enhancements like the Del Amo Boulevard extension and improvements to Torrance Boulevard. And with all the new things coming Torrance's way, Scotto reminded everyone to keep a fresh mindset.
Let's shake the old way of looking at things, making space for new ways.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Alexa Sita.
Thanks, Alexa. And CitiCABLE 3 will air the mayor's speech in its entirety next month. Janice Hahn is one step closer to taking over Jane Harmon's seat in the 36th Congressional District, but there's still the July runoff, and it's unclear whom she'll compete against. Secretary of State Deborah Bowen was expected to run near or equal to Hahn. Both candidates are Democrats, the favored party with higher voter registration. Instead, self-financed Republican businessman Craig Huey placed second in the 16-candidate field, pushing Bowen to third place. But this race isn't over yet. There are still several thousand ballots to be counted. Either Huey or Bowen will run against Hahn on July 12th. Overall turnout for the special election was 15.4%, higher than the predicted 12%. Here are some highlights from the most recent City Council meeting. Council officially declared May 20th to May 22nd as the Armed Forces Day Parade and Celebration Weekend. This is the 52nd consecutive year the city has sponsored the observance of the parade and weekend events. Each year, the celebration gives special recognition to one branch of the armed forces, and this year, the city proudly salutes the U.S. Army. General Robert W. Cohn will serve as Grand Marshal of the parade. Ray Rojo Sr. was recognized for his work with Torrance youth for more than 30 years. Rojo was one of the first coaches to work with the American Youth Soccer Organization, or AYSO. He is also responsible for spearheading the construction of several soccer fields throughout Torrance. May 15th through May 28th is Blue Ribbon Week. May 18th is also Peace Officers Memorial Day. Council asks that all residents take the time to recognize the sacrifice and commitment that Torrance police officers make every day to protect and serve the community. May is National Preservation Month, and the Torrance Historical Society accepted the proclamation, which asks residents to remember the important role that history plays in our lives. Preservation helps in revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, all while maintaining community character. And if you take part in non-parking activities at a city-owned parking lot, you may receive a citation. The Community Development Department stated that these activities may pose a liability to the city and asked council to consider creating a new ordinance. While several area residents expressed their disapproval of the planned ordinance, especially those who like to use go-karts in some city lots. These carters, as they are called, and other groups may be asked to form organizations that could be recognized by the city. The item was referred back to the city manager's office for further discussion on different regulatory possibilities. And the Centennial received another large donation. $6,000 was appropriated by the Centennial Committee from Sempra, SoCal Gas, Moog Inc., and Bell Cab. The City Council asked all residents to remember the dedication of police officers during Blue Ribbon Week. And the Torrance Police Department remembers their brothers in blue at a special ceremony. Reporter Jacqueline Shepard takes us there.
Family, friends, and colleagues paused for a moment to remember and celebrate the lives of Torrance officers lost in the line of duty at this year's annual Blue Ribbon service.
Torrance cares in a great way because Torrance is a great community, and we recognize the fact that most of us live in this community because we know that we have men and women in our police department that are very special.
Torrance Police Department has lost 4 officers in the line of duty. This memorial service reminds community and family members that though their loved ones have passed, the lives of those officers still have an impact today.
I've been in law enforcement in the state of Utah for 20 years, and I've always felt like it's a difficult thing to measure up to him. He set a very high standard, but certainly has affected my life a great deal.
And though it's been more than 20 years since Officer Joseph Keller was killed in the line of duty, one Torrance detective appreciates the chance to pay tribute to his colleague and friend.
We worked patrol together. He was a young guy, you know, just like the lady was saying earlier, he was really a good spirit.
Kirk Ripstein, the son of Gary Ripstein, was only 4 years old when his father died. He is thankful today's memorial honors his father's life and service.
Oh, very proud of his service, and I think more. I'm more proud of the way he lived his life, certainly, than the way he died. But I guess the way he died was a reflection of the way he lived his life.
Losing an officer is always a tragedy, and since forming in 1923, it's a loss the Torrance Police Department has experienced 4 times. And with today's celebration, everyone hopes that number does not increase.
Torrance is well-trained officers, and we've been in quite a few shootings, so it really comes down to training and just, having God on your side, I guess.
And while it is comforting to know that our police force is still filled with individuals like them, I hope and pray that we don't add any more.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
Thanks, Jackie. A distinguished member of the Armed Forces recently made an appearance here in Torrance, but he wasn't here for Armed Forces Day. Instead, he came to spread the word about an often neglected topic. Reporter Jennifer Wade has more.
I'm Colonel Dave Sutherland. I'm a veteran of 2 wars. I'm a veteran of 28 years of active federal service. I'm an American soldier, and I will die for you.
Sutherland has received many awards and declarations, including the Purple Heart and the Legion of Merit, but these are not his greatest achievements.
There's nothing compared to the privilege, the honor of serving with American men and women in uniform.
Sutherland is currently working to help veterans dealing with combat-related mental health issues such as PTSD, depression, and anxiety get ongoing support. During his address, he revealed the startling rates of suicide among soldiers and explained that everyone could help make a difference for veterans.
The biggest thing is build public awareness, increase community involvement, and promote those services that are there to assist our men and women in uniform.
Businessmen met with Sutherland after his speech and offered their services and financial assistance in helping Sutherland's cause in getting veterans the help they need. Besides serving his country and working at the Pentagon, Colonel Sutherland is a loving husband and father of 2. This is Jennifer Wade for CitiCABLE.
Thanks, Jennifer. Good Morning Torrance is an ongoing event series sponsored by the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. For more information, go to torrancechamber.com. As headlines change and time passes, it's easy to forget that Japan is still reeling from the March 11th earthquake and tsunami. But the Torrance Rotary Club made it easy for Torrance residents to remember the victims. Channel 3's Jacqueline Shepard explains.
It's been more than 3 months since the tsunami devastated the lives of people in Japan. But with the threat of a nuclear emergency and more than 13,000 missing, help is still needed.
There are so many people who like to do something, but they sometimes don't know how, and because of the economy, they can't donate the money too much, but we can donate some time and some goods so that we can sell.
That was the motivation behind the yard sale for Japan. Everything at the yard sale was donated by Torrance residents, and despite the gloomy weather, shoppers came out early to take advantage of great deals and do their part to help the relief effort.
We opened at 7, and we had already people lined up before the 7 o'clock.
It's just awful what happened in Japan, and I feel so lucky that it wasn't me, I guess. And I just, if I can do anything to help, I'll do it.
The weather may be a little chilly, but that didn't stop the warm hearts of these shoppers wanting to come out and help Japan. Clothes, furniture, you name it, it's all here, and even I had to take advantage of a great deal. I was surprised to see this television on sale. It was donations like these that reminded Scott Shiota that even though time has passed, people are still eager to help.
It was very good for me to know how many people actually cares. I got so many donations from everywhere.
For shoppers and those who donated, this yard sale was a win-win.
We make them feel good because they feel after they donate the goods, that's going to go good, that's going to go something good. And we feel better because we get some money out of selling goods and send it to Japan.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Well, coming up, Americans may be worried about the unemployment rate, but some sectors are hiring. We'll show you where those jobs are, and we'll tell you how these students beat the odds. That's after the break.
I've changed apartments several times. My roommates have always been trouble. Now, because of the economy, I've had to move back home. When my mom gets drunk, she tells me everything I do is going to fail. I get into arguments with her about her drinking. Dad goes to Al-Anon family groups. I didn't think Al-Anon would work for me, but every time I go, I feel better. If someone's drinking bothers you, you might find help in an Al-Anon family group meeting right here in our community. I found support there. You can too. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
While the economy continues to look less than sunny, there are some bright spots on the horizon when it comes to employment. Reporter Shantae Passmore finds out what the jobs are and what you can do to make them your own.
According to the Labor Department, nearly 244,000 jobs were created last month. People are looking for jobs, but do they know where to search? Healthcare was the third largest sector to hire, with an estimated 37,000 jobs. The caregiver facility Home Instead is a prime example. They have been aggressively hiring.
What I mean by aggressively is that our appetite for new employees has outweighed our ability to hire and find them. So, we're always looking.
The high demand for senior care is one reason why the company is hiring. Relatives, spouses, and friends who once cared for loved ones are now returning to the workforce.
Yeah, definitely.
In a given month, we may only hire 1 or 2 on some months, and then in the last, 4 to 6 months, we've certainly really ramped up and are hiring much more aggressively.
Karen Ramos is a medical assistant student. She's been looking for healthcare work and knows her chosen field is better than most.
A lot of places for medical assistants, a lot of clinics, they're looking for a lot of medical assistants. I think it's the most highest job that everybody wants to look for, everybody goes to school for. I think it's an easy education to go through, a step to go through, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's looking for that.
Bennett Benak moved from Hawaii last year in search of a career opportunity. He's attending a local college to become a pharmacy technician because he thinks it's a great industry for networking.
It's a great opportunity once you get in. The best part about it, I know, is once you know somebody that's in the business, they can tell you exactly the benefits we get out of it, and also you get to help the people.
The job market may still be mixed for many unemployed Americans, but the Labor Department report offers hope for people like Karen.
I'm actually an ambassador for right now. I have a good GPA. I'm trying to be on every task of my stuff, my career. This is what I want, and I want to achieve higher goals, higher education. This is just a start for me.
The job growth rate in May remains to be seen, but that won't stop those who are looking for a job. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Shantae Passmore.
Thanks, Shantae. And for more information on employment, go to U.S. Department of Labor website at dol.gov. Keeping Torrance safe falls squarely on the shoulders of our police department, but often it is the bravery we don't see that is deserving of recognition. Some of those hardworking officers were recognized at this year's Medal of Valor luncheon. Channel 3's Jacqueline Shepard has a story.
Would Detective Dennis Brady of the Torrance Police Department please come forward?
Men and women from all over the South Bay were honored for their service at this year's Medal of Valor luncheon. Firefighters and police officers received awards for going above and beyond their commitment to protect and serve. And with all the advances in technology, that commitment is now online.
Detective Brady would enter a Yahoo and/or AOL chat room, portray himself as a 14-year-old female, and attempt to contact male adults who want to engage in sexual activity, even though they are well aware of the child's age.
Detective Brady's work with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force has resulted in 45 arrests. And with the highest conviction rate in 5 counties, he says his strongest motivation is his life away from the force.
I do it because I have kids, and I don't want these type of guys coming around my kids and the kids that I coach and mentor.
The job isn't always as clear as protecting good guys from bad guys. Sometimes it means protecting us from ourselves.
On the afternoon of October 26, 2010, a critical emergency situation occurred where a bipolar female threatened suicide by holding a knife to her neck.
Even saving a life comes with a certain amount of danger. While attempting to rescue the mentally ill woman, Officer Walker was nearly stabbed himself.
Never been that close proximity to someone trying to, stab me with a knife before. So it was pretty scary at the time. I'm really glad that it worked out for everyone involved.
Whether saving a resident from an assailant or protecting a teen from a child predator, these men and women risk their lives every day and are deserving of honor. But for them, it's just part of the job.
We didn't go in here to get nominated at all. Nothing like that at all. We came out there to do the job. It just, fortunately, everything worked out great. The poor female, had some medical problems. We got her to the psychological hospital, and hopefully she's doing much better now.
Nevertheless, this luncheon gave city officials, family, and friends a chance to congratulate these officers on a job well done.
Sometimes we get put in situations where other people see that we're doing a great job, and it's really nice to get recognized for something that we just go out and think is just our normal everyday job.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
Thanks, Jacqueline. If you would like to find out more about this year's Medal of Valor winners, go to torranceca.gov/TPD. And your average high school student can often feel overwhelmed, pressure to keep grades high and get into a good college, all the while maintaining a social life may be too much for some. But the pressures on these teens are truly challenging. Reporter Vanessa Linares tells us how they beat the odds.
Last but not least, the reason why we're all here tonight. I would like to introduce the recipients of the Torrance Youth Council's 2011 Beat the Odds Scholarship Awards.
The annual Beat the Odds Scholarship Awards is a program presented by the Torrance Youth Council that recognizes students who have overcome challenges through their high school years.
Would Jennifer McCann please come forward?
Jennifer McCann was born completely deaf. At the age of 2.5 years old, she underwent surgery so that she could learn to speak. Since hearing and speaking did not come easy to her, Jennifer had to work twice as hard as her peers. And today, she has a passion for learning and the arts.
I feel amazed and really blessed. I'm really happy, and I want to thank the committee for especially selecting me.
Aaron Chang was born with a rare blood disease that leaves him dependent on transfusions. But his blood disease has exposed him to a loving medical community. As a result, Aaron has developed a passion for medicine. At the age of 8, Kelly Fruth was diagnosed with a disease that caused her hair to fall out and never grow back. Her condition has given her a different outlook on life and will lead her to pursue a life in nursing.
It's really nice that the community did this for me. It's definitely going to help me with my college endeavors. It's an honor.
At the start of his senior year, Carl Hugh took on the responsibility of caring for his mother after she suffered a major stroke. As her only child and closest living relative, Carl struggled to balance his home and school life. He worked hard to improve his grades and was re-elected on the Associated Student Body. And caring for his mother has made him a stronger person today.
Actually, it means a lot. It shows that our community is really united, and it awards those people who go through hardship, and it just means a lot that Torrance cares for everyone. So yeah, I'm really thankful.
Emily Meyer's brother was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at the age of 19. The disease led him to commit suicide. Later, her mother began drinking and hit rock bottom. Helping her mother achieve sobriety for the last 2 years while volunteering at local medical centers has given her a passion for helping others.
I mean, my high school year was really hard for me, but it means, I'm recognized for surviving.
Anika Azad's family is from Bangladesh. Ever since the 9/11 attacks, Anika has been plagued by judgment from her peers. Kids in school would make fun of her religion, question her culture, and ask if she was a terrorist. Rather than embrace the person she is, Anika pushed away her heritage. Through the years, she learned to love her culture as well as appreciate being a proud American.
For me, it's a big impact in my life because I don't really come from a very wealthy family, and so this money is actually helping me achieve what I really want and what my family really wants.
The Beat the Odds Scholarship will help these students further their learning and achieve their goals. I'm Vanessa Linares reporting for This Week in Torrance.
The Torrance Youth Council developed their Beat the Odds program in 1996. Recipients each receive one.
Are you playing a dangerous game with the future of America's citrus? Move a citrus plant, and you could be spreading a disease that kills citrus. On its own, the disease can't move far, but in a car, an infected plant can travel miles. Move a citrus plant, and it could be game over for our citrus. Now it's your turn. Please don't risk citrus. Don't move citrus. Learn more at saveourcitrus.org. A message from the USDA.
The Torrance Sister City Association has a lineup of restaurants that are participating in Restaurant Wednesday. On Wednesday, May 25th, visit El Paso Cantina, and the Mexican restaurant will give a portion of your meal's proceeds to the Kashiwa Japanese Relief Fund. Restaurant Wednesday is happening through May and the month of June, but in order for the donation to be made, patrons must present a special flyer to the waitstaff. Now, to learn more or to find donation flyers, go to torrancesistercity.org. And finally, most of us can remember riding around on our first bikes. Unfortunately, that memory doesn't exist for every child, so one organization is trying to change that. Reporter Vanessa Linares has this story.
For many of these South Bay kids, today is a day they will never forget.
I'm a road cyclist, and I was recently riding in the Tour de France as an avid cyclist. And as I was riding up a tough stage, I said to myself, gosh, this is great. I'm so fortunate.
And some children at the Boys and Girls Club soon felt the same way. Thanks to the PVG Foundation, the kids would receive bikes of their own.
I think the Boys and Girls Club is the most deserving in our community because they really identify to us children who could take advantage of a bicycle and make them mobile and help them in their life.
The PVG Foundation was formed by 3 financial advisors who are dedicated to helping underserved children throughout the community.
Our whole purpose and mission is we've been living and working in the community for over 25 years. And the community has been really good to us. So in return, we want to give back to the community.
Kids submitted essays explaining why they want a bike, how will a bike improve their life, and how they plan to take care of it. 100 of these essays were selected.
I feel excited because it's a free bike and you can ride it around. On Saturdays I have a lot of free time, so I'm going to ride it on my sidewalk where I live.
How will you take care of your bike?
I would just make sure it's not too dirty and make sure I clean it.
Bicycles have made a difference in so many lives, including the founders of the PVG Foundation.
Well, I think we all look back to our early youth and realize how bikes changed our lives, and it's healthy, and it gets them out in the community and doing physically fit things. So we think it's awfully important.
Each bike here is labeled with a child's name. The PVG Foundation teamed up with Helen Cycles to provide over 100 bikes to the kids of the Boys and Girls Club. I'm Vanessa Linares reporting for This Week in Torrance.
Thanks, Vanessa. And the PVG Foundation gave away $50,000 worth of bicycles. And that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.